I'm going to talk with you about the assessment part. When your client walks in through the door, you can offer them tea or water. It's always nice to have that added touch if you can. And then they're going to sit down and you're going to have a questionnaire for them to answer certain questions. A part of this assessment that we're going to do is not so much about talking to the client about what's going on and what their story is. You can literally just have them fill out the questionnaire, and then when they're done with that, ask them to close their eyes, turn their palms up so that they're in a receptive mode, have them take off their shoes, put their feet flat on the floor, and you're going to ask them to close their eyes and take a moment to feel the support surface underneath them and to feel the support of Mother Earth, and thank them for coming, for saying yes to a deeper healing at the root cause level. And then you're going to ask them to exhale long. Exhale the past, exhale all the air out of their lungs, and to take a deep breath in and to become a video camera. They're going to do the body map assessment, and it's the intuitive body map assessment. So you're having them connect to their inner wisdom of their body. What I've discovered over the past 23 years working with people is that the body's just talking to us. And there's other forms of healing that access this, like body talk. What's different about the Alva Method is that you're actually having the client accessing their own body talk, their own wisdom of their own body themselves. And this is very powerful. So you have them close their eyes and ask them to scan the sensations in their body, to notice if there's any areas where they have pain, tension, tightness. Are there any areas that feel stagnant or blocked? Are there any areas that are calling their attention physically? And then you can ask them, are there any emotions that I'm holding in my body? You can make them aware of their heart, and you can ask them to put their hand over their heart and hand over their gut, and to notice, how's my heart feeling? How's my gut feeling? Is there anything my body wants me to know? And then you can ask them, are there any thoughts that keep recurring? Am I worried about anything? Am I scared about anything? Is there anything that I'm angry about in my past? What I like to do is feel the client as their eyes are closed. I just breathe and I observe, and I let my intuition guide me, because there might be some other questions that come up for you to ask them while you're guiding them in the body map. You want to make sure that you slow down and give them time to actually notice their body. So you can have them do more breathing. And sometimes you'll notice they look like they're going to start to cry, or if they're in a lot of pain or they're in a lot of tension, you can have them deep breath in and exhale. And sometimes they're so overwhelmed because they're feeling so intense everything that they've been holding, because the body map assessment is actually causing them to, those questions are causing emotions to come up. You can also then teach them how to process and flow emotions in their body with the flow like a river ritual, which there's another video for that, but I'm gonna focus on the body map now. So you guide them to flow like a river. Maybe they have a cathartic release already in the body map assessment portion of the assessment. That's all wonderful, because you're going to address whatever's coming up in the moment. The body map assessment, you can put it on pause if the person is getting very emotionally charged and they're releasing. Sometimes I like to stand behind them and just have them lean back. So it's really important what's coming up in the present moment. It's not about, oh my God, I need to finish the body map and then let's cry. It doesn't work like that. The Alva Method is all about what's coming up in the moment. Let's work with what's in the moment, because their body is so wise that we're gonna believe in their wisdom. We're gonna allow their wisdom to guide our session. And then when they're done scanning their body, you can even ask them, notice if there's anything else that your body wants you to know. If they're aware of chakras, you can ask them, and you can guide them in each chakra and ask them, how is each chakra feeling? Are any of my chakras blocked? We're guiding the client to listen and tune in internally to access their wisdom. And they don't even have to know about yoga. They don't even have to be people that have ever read A Course in Miracles. It blows me away how lawyers, doctors, accountants that have never done anything spiritual or meditated access their body wisdom. It's really amazing when you simply guide them inside, they get answers. And I'm just so excited that you're learning about this. So when they're done with the body map assessment and you've taken them on a journey to notice how they're feeling, ask them to open their eyes and to look in front of them, and you're gonna have the body map, the intuitive body map assessment form on the table. And I highly recommend having crayons, colored pencils, a pen, and tell them, did you see any colors? Did you notice any textures? Can you put an X and whatever color you saw or whatever you saw? Sometimes people see a light around their body. Sometimes they feel tension in their chest or their shoulders or their low back. So they can put X's there and then have them draw a line and write the words of whatever it is that they felt or they saw. So for example, you have a client who comes in with a low back pain, hip pain, shoulder tension. They would write X's over their low back, or maybe they'll put circles over their shoulders. And then they'll write tension, tightness, stabbing pain, burning pain. And then you'll ask them, what level of pain? 0 to 10. 10 is the highest level of pain. You want them to write out whatever it is that is showing up. They may say, my back is killing me. Oh, you know what? I feel like my husband's on my left shoulder. So then write his name. And you want them to write out as much as possible because the actual process of writing is a form of release. Sometimes people write and they start to cry. And something else that works great is for them to actually talk about what they're writing. So they could say, wow, I can't believe my low back feels like an 8 out of 10. The point is to get them to express out through writing, through speaking, through the colors, to express what's going on inside. And when they express out, that is a form of release and processing. So they finished the body map. This is how they walked in. You're gonna make them aware, this is the past. You just walked in, we did the body map awareness assessment, I guided you. This is what your body's telling you right now. This is based on your past. This is based on your childhood. This is based on your past lives. So just make them aware that this is the baggage that they walked in with and that it is a blessing. So you want them to look at their body map and to be grateful for it because their body loves them. Their body is their best friend. So if they have pelvic pain, low back pain, shoulder tension, it's actually there for them. It's a gift. And we want to start talking to our clients like this and making them aware. So you're not just doing an assessment because you're going to work with them. You're teaching them how to have healthy beliefs and how to perceive themselves in a way that's going to empower them. And sometimes I tell them at that point, this is all your shit that you walked in with that we're going to turn into fertilizer if you decide yes with that. And they're like, yes, of course, I'm so tired of being sick and tired of my back pain. So SHIT stands for strengthen, heal, imagine something new, and thrive. And that's what we're doing in this work. We're transforming all the shit of the past. We're owning our shit, and we're asking, well, how can I grow from that? What is this low back pain teaching me? What is this shoulder tension teaching me? How can I grow from that? And at the point with the body map, you're just gonna have them write it all out and make them aware that it is a blessing, it's a gift. And sometimes they'll say, well, I can't wait for you to show me that. They might be bitter in the beginning of the assessment. So what you can do is you could tell them, look at this whole thing, look at your past, and how do you feel about all that? So how do you feel about what you just wrote out? So they might say, I have a lot of stuff to work on. I feel like, I hope you can help me. Or they might say, I feel scared, I feel nervous, I feel overwhelmed. I didn't realize I had all that. Or they might say, I feel so happy to be here. I'm so grateful that I'm finally I didn't even know that was going on in my body. So the person's gonna have many different reactions, and then you can have them write out here how they feel about how they feel. Because sometimes people will say, well, I don't feel good about how I feel. So we want to work on that too. We want to help them have a different perspective about how they feel, because that's going to affect their healing outcome. Then you can ask them to pick an angel card or whatever card you use, and then you can write down what they picked there. And then you're done with that. That's the past. So then we go to the next phase of the assessment, which is, what do you wish to create? So you tell them, this is the past, this is all the shit that you've had in your past. Now, how would you like to feel when you're done with the session? If you had the highest outcome after this healing session, and you got everything you wanted out of the healing session, the Alva Method session with working with me today, how would you feel? Can you write down all the words? How would your body feel? What colors would you be like? And so sometimes people will be like, what do you mean? So you can say, well, let's look over here. Your low back, you have some X's on your low back. You have some shoulder tension. How would you like your low back to feel? So on this one, they may write light, free, loose, limber, pleasurable. And you can help them along with the words. And you could also ask them, would you like to feel more loose? Would you like to feel more light in your back, light in your shoulders? Are you ready to let go of the identity that you're in pain? Are you willing to see yourself in a different way? Use this time to ask them questions in the direction of what they want to create. That's neuro-linguistic programming. So the assessment portion and the what do you want to create portion, we're leading them into, we're influencing them to believe differently about themselves. And what I've learned from neuroscience, from quantum physics, is we don't get what we want, we get what we are vibrating at. We attract the way that we're feeling. So if a person only comes to you and they write down all the crap of their past and that's it, you're not teaching them what they want to create and what they want to leave with experiencing differently. So you can clear things, but it's not enough to do that. We want to ask people, what do you want to create differently? How do you want to feel in your body? How do you want to feel about your body? It's not good enough to even just say, how do you want your back to feel? Well, how do you want to feel about your back feeling that way? And they'll say, well, I want to feel good about my back. I want to feel safe, that I could trust my back. I wish so much that I could just, I don't even have to think about my back anymore. I could just go walking, and then they'll start to cry, they'll get emotional. And they'll say, you know, I've never even thought of it. All I have ever thought about my back is pain. So just in this one process of the body assessment, the intuitive body wisdom map assessment, you are creating different neural synapses firing and rewiring just by this assessment. So take your time with this. They also feel like they're a little kid in kindergarten again, and for some people they haven't even touched crayons in years. So this is helping them to get in touch with their creative energy, their creative side of the brain, which is also the healing side of the brain, the feminine side of the brain, the intuitive side of the brain, and it's making them forget about their problems of the past by creating something new. And you can also have them make their heart. How do you want your heart to feel? How do you want your gut to feel? How do you want your sexual energy to feel? And they can paint all around it. So take your time with the body maps. How do I feel when I walk in? Close your eyes and feel, assess. And then how do I want to feel? So then you put these away, and what I do is I look at the one of how do they want to feel, so that when I'm working with them, I'm going to use those words in the session, and I'm going to be seeing them like what they want to create. So then you did the session, you rocked it. Their pain sometimes goes from an 8 out of 10 to a 2 out of 10 just from doing the body map and then flowing like a river. The flowing like a river technique that you can do while you're doing this assessment sometimes causes them to lower their pain by 80%. Is that amazing? Just by changing their mindset. That's what's really exciting. So this alone is a powerful tool that you can take your time with. You don't need to rush it. We want our clients to close their eyes and go inside and start to feel the wisdom, accessing that wisdom. Because it's amazing the revelations that come up and the physiological changes that happen when they start to imagine something new. So you did your session, you're done with the body map, then you're gonna give them a blank sheet after the session. They're already put their clothes back on, they're almost ready to go. You tell them, hold on a second, we're gonna assess what happened. How do you feel right now? So you ask them to close their eyes. They've already had the session, they're feeling amazing, and they close their eyes and they notice once again their body, and you guide them. Notice if your body, how your body's feeling. Notice the sensations in the body. So you make it a very general question, and take a deep breath in. Feel grateful for all the shifts that have happened. Feel grateful for your openness for coming today. Thank you so much for making time for yourself. How did this session benefit you? Write it down. So then they have a third page. This is the blank body map, and they get to write however they feel after the session. So what's really important about this is as they're writing, they're like, oh my God, I don't have any pain anywhere in my body. And you don't show them the old body maps, you just show them the new one. And then you ask them to draw the colors that they feel, how they feel right now, and how they feel about how they feel. So they just get so excited. This is a beautiful part of the session, it's the end. And you can also have them take a picture of this to put on their phone, and just to, you created this today. Isn't this awesome? Look what you created. And then you can hold the old body map, the one they walked in with, so they can see the contrast. You came in with this, you left, you're leaving now feeling like this. You're so powerful. So you start to tell them, do you see how in your first session what's possible? You're so amazing. Thank you so much for coming. It's been a pleasure working with you. So this is how we want to start influencing our clients. We want them to gain wisdom, access in themselves, and then we want them to create and then be self-aware, self-reflective as a part of this work. And this part is so powerful, it's life-changing. Let me know if you have any questions about the assessment, and practice. Do this with as many people as you can so that it becomes very automatic for you. Yeah.